Hag Sameach and Happy Hanukkah to everyone. You know, the story of Hanukkah is really a part of the Christian Bible and not a part of the Hebrew Bible. So everybody can celebrate with us on these 8 festival days. Tonight we will be is the 4th night, and we have 4 more to go. And Richard has been very generous this year and gave me lots of gifts. And so I appreciate that very much. Now, there are certain stories I want to tell you, but before I do, I want to tell you that I am back in 4th grade and 5th grade. See, I'm in 4th and 5th grade at Aldo Leopold Community School. Supposedly I'm volunteering there helping, but I go 3 mornings a week, and it's like making a full circle, because I started off teaching 6th grade at Winnemassa, and then I went to 6th grade at Dow Avenue, and then I became assistant principal at Dow Avenue, and then I went to Oakhurst, and I was in kindergarten through 5th grade and once through 6th grade, and then I went to the intermediate school for 20 years, and then I supervised students for St. Norbert College when I moved here to Wisconsin, and now I've returned to elementary school. And I love being 10 years old. It's such fun. And the kids are wonderful. And we celebrated Hanukkah in the public school yesterday. And I want to tell you something. I'll celebrate Christmas too, because I know all the words for the carols. Because when I went to public school at Bond Street School at Asbury Park, in those days, the Shamus is kind of freaking out. Oh. I'll move it over so if it falls, it won't ruin my beautiful plastic tablecloth. Okay.
And if you hear a fire alarm, you know what's going on. Well, mine
goes off without fires, you know. It just goes off. Anyhow, I know all the words to the Christmas carols because in those years, in like 1940s, we all sang Christmas carols. We didn't know, and we certainly didn't observe Hanukkah because it was during World War II, and the Jewish people, even in the United States of America, were a little bit afraid to be, quote, T-O-O, Jewish.
Besides, Richard always has a Christmas tree anyway.
Oh, don't tell them that, Richard.
I'm going to show them.
Oh, all right. You're going to show them the Christmas tree?
Yes.
All right. I didn't want anybody to get upset. Okay.
I'm not showing them anything else.
Okay.
Promise.
Okay. Now, when we were in Oakhurst School, I decided with Mr. Johnston, Alan Johnston was the elementary science coordinator, we decided to take the kids out into nature. Now, when I say nature in Wisconsin, they all make fun of me. They tell me I sound like I'm from a different part of the country. And I say to them, who? Me? Not me. Anyhow, we were going out into nature, and so we went to Alair State Park, and we had many funny experiences there. Richard's going to start telling the story about one in which he was involved, and then I'll tell you something about Mr. Morgan and our trip there. I have lots of stories. Okay, go ahead, Richard. I'll be quiet if I can.
Okay. Mrs. Hamer, this was 5th grade. Mrs. Hamer approached me and Gail Volz, and she wanted to do a stunt of some sort during dinner time at the campout. So she had me get together a group. It included, I believe, Sandy Brandley, Greg Bulger, Gail, and myself. And we were supposed to dress up as clowns and come running in during dinner and do all kinds of things like throw pies and at each other and throw water on each other and numerous other things. And we rehearsed this, and we came all set with our costumes and everything, and whipped cream and water, and I rigged something up to shoot water out, and we dinner time came, and we all were prepared, and we were ready to throw the pie, and whoever threw the pie, I think it was me, missed and threw the pie of whipped cream on somebody who was not in on the joke. And then the next thing I knew, somebody grabbed my shoulder and tightly, and it was my father. Evidently, Mrs. Hamer had neglected to tell him anything about this. So I will let him pick it up from there.
Even as a baby, he wasn't throwing pies, but his aim wasn't so good. Well, anyhow, I was furious because we had all these kind of activities planned after supper, and supper was supposed to be a nice, quiet time.
It was meatball subs. Meatball subs.
Meatball subs. Yeah, we worked hard to I wasn't expecting it. I don't think it was appropriate. I was angry with the kids especially, and when they told me it was all Mrs. Hamer's fault, I was a little bit upset with Mrs. Hamer too. So that's what happened that time. The story about Mr. Morgan is that we had groups going out into the woods nearby, and we had put ropes along so nobody would get lost in the woods, and we had put various things out in the woods for kids to pay notice to, nests and so forth and so on. So I took my group, and the teacher took her group, and there were a lot of people, parents took groups. Well, Mr. Morgan was the elementary coordinator or supervisor or something. Maybe he was assistant superintendent, I think, by then. No. Well, it doesn't matter, but he was a big wig. He was always a good friend. Well, anyhow, he comes back and he says, I don't know how to tell you this. I said, what? He says, I'm one kid short. Oh, my God, I said, did they hold on to the rope? He says, I thought so. I said, Glenn, you've taught 5th and 6th grade for years. How could you let this happen? Well, we'll go look for the kid. Fortunately or unfortunately, this kid's mother was on the trip with us. So we looked around and we went and we were screaming his name and we were yelling. And the next thing we knew, a state trooper's car pulls up where we were camped out at Alair State Park, and out pops the kid. Somehow he had gotten out on the highway, and the patrols found him and brought him back to camp. Well, we were all very thankful, but that was another moment that I was not too happy with the supervisor or the kid. I guess he had asked to walk away for a minute to look at something and not hold on to the rope. Here we tried so hard, but everything, is an exception. There's an exception to every rule.
Probably had to pee.
No, I don't. Maybe, but couldn't he find the group? I don't understand. All right, we'll talk to you again later. Everyone, a very happy Hanukkah, a wonderful, blessed Christmas, and good health and prosperity in the new year. And if you watch my blogs, I have some things to tell you about the party that's going to be in Power January 1st.
Bye.
Bye.